Breast implants go to court. Clarence Thomas fondles the evidence.
Hard choices for Muammar Gaddafi, a U.S. invasion,
Or the cover of People magazine.
and a nostalgic look back at when American workers had jobs. I'm Barry Bourgeois,
And I'm Muffy Bolivar.
and this is World in Your Face. George Herbert Walker Bush today filed a petition in a Washington, D.C. courtroom requesting that his name officially be changed to Storm, Desert Storm. A White House spokesman denied any connection between the president's petition and his re-election bid. President Storm, as he now wants to be known, was out pressing the flesh in a military hospital and was unavailable for comment.
And as the primary season shifts into high gear, Democratic contenders did their best to head off any more scandals by issuing a joint statement denying that they ever had sex, raised taxes, or made a tough moral decision. Skeptics have questions about the no-sex claim, alluding to the fact that many of the candidates have children. But a party official claims there's no connection, saying, "This is America," and that means something.
And here's Pat Buchanan's solution to the problem of Haitian boat people. A really big boat. Buchanan suggested that any supporters of ousted Haitian President Aristide simply gather together on a huge raft somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic and, according to Buchanan, practice democracy until they're ready for it. Asked who would pay for the raft, Buchanan said, that's their first lesson. We'll be back with more after this.
Here's looking at you. We got a file on you. We know more about you than you do.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Here's Looking at You, the show that knows more about you than you do. I'm Brick McVicker. Tonight, barcode tattoos. Do you love them, or do you already have one? But first, let's take a few phone calls. Dave from Miami Beach, here's looking at you.
Hey, Brick, how's it going?
Oh, not too bad, Dave. So, how were those frosted cornflakes this morning, huh?
Actually, Brick, I had granola.
Granola? You're in the wrong zip code for that, pal. Is this a personal trend, or are you just trying to skew the sample? Anyway, Dave, what's on your mind, huh?
Well, Brick, I like the idea of people knowing what I want and when I want it.
Good.
I have nothing to hide.
Okay.
Hey, I fingerprinted my kids. I fingerprinted my pets. It makes me feel secure, you know?
So you feel secure, huh? Now, on a scale of 1 to 8, how secure?
About a 6.
Got it. Go on.
Well, anyway, see, in the latest issue of Digital Plumber, I read where the Koreans have this new program that analyzes the contents of your septic tank. It extrapolates valuable information about possible nutritional deficiencies, emotional states, career options.
Right, you're talking about SCAT-SCAN 1.6. Great program, great results.
So you'd recommend it?
Recommend it. It's probably going to be mandatory in 5 years. Next caller, Vivian in Fresno.
Mr. McVicker,
Go ahead.
I used to like going shopping every day at Bob's Market. It was the highlight of my day. I was very sad when they started delivering my groceries for me without my even asking.
Yeah, well, you know, we all have to make some sacrifices here, Viv.
But Brick, lately they seem to be somebody else's groceries. What do I do with all these sun-dried tomatoes and all-night pantyhose, whatever they are?
Wait a minute. Your last name is Norell, right? You live in Fresno?
Yes?
Well, I hate to tell you this, honey, but demographically, you died last week. The groceries you've been getting belong to the next tenant, a 22-year-old systems analyst named Dawn.
But I feel fine.
Don't worry, Vivian. We'll take care of it. Here's Looking at You. We'll be right back after this.
Someone's at the door, Scooter.
I'll get it, Mom.
Someone's at the door. It sounds innocent enough, but who knows who is lurking behind that 1.5 inches of solid steel? Find out with Someone's at the Door, the electronic doormat that scans your visitor's age, gender, race, and sexual preference before you open up. If someone's at the door, find out who with Someone's at the Door.
54 years old, male, Caucasian, bisexual, nobody I know.
Scooter, it's Dad. Open up.
Someone's at the Door from New World Electronics, the brave name in security.
We're back with Here's Looking at You. Will from Atchison, Kansas.
Hello, Mr. McVicker. This is Wilbur.
Oh, You again. What is it this time, Wilbur?
Well, I really got into what you were saying last week about the Guardioid 2000 data protection system.
Right, they're the best. Depth of data, cross-referencing, they're impossible to break into,
No,
folks.
not necessarily, Mr. McVicker.
What?
You know, you'd be amazed how far you can get into that system with a touch-tone phone, a modem, and a blender.
All right, what are you trying to say here, Wilbur?
Well, I can't say exactly how I did it, but somehow I just cracked your Guardioid 2000 file.
What?
And I thought your listeners would just love to know
Wait a
about
minute.
all those credit
Wait.
card charges you made at the Green Door Motel.
No, I never
and
made
all
any.
those
No.
mysterious automatic deposits made out to you from New World
Ernie,
Electronics.
wait, no, are
and
you
the
implying that I...
$2,500
Ernie,
worth
can
of
you cut
phone
this...
calls
Wait,
to 1-900-MY-PONY.
No, listen,
you know you liked animals.
you're hacking up the wrong tree, you little geek.
Oh, no. Aren't you Marion McVicker, alias Brit, 2139 Van Nuys
Ernie,
Boulevard,
can you roll the theme on this?
90111, government
Hey,
ID number
folks, that's all the time we have for Here's Looking at You. Please stay tuned for Social Security Lotto coming up. Ernie, can you cut this guy off and roll the theme?
Who killed JFK? Now you can hear about it and talk about it 24 hours a day on KJFK. All JFK conspiracy theories all the time. From the classic allegations
There was someone on the grassy knoll.
to the latest revelations.
I was the grassy knoll.
You'll hear it all from all over the nation. Call now. Someone is listening on KJFK. All JFK conspiracy theories 24 hours a day.
I'm Wolf Turner, and this is California Report. The U.S. Supreme Court has declined to outlaw abortions, but many small California towns are trying to do so on their own. In Cranberry Beach, California, women are not only denied access to abortion, but to birth control as well. When Republican Mayor Ed Crookton signed the anti-abortion ordinance, he said it would simplify women's choices.
If women don't want to get pregnant, they can just say no to sex.
But what about men? It's a lovely fall day here in Spiro T. Agnew Memorial Park. Paul P., a 35-year-old systems analyst, is chatting with a new acquaintance.
Hi there. Beautiful day, huh?
It's a strangely affecting sight. A handsome, obviously successful man trying to arrange a date with a 200-year-old eucalyptus tree.
Want to go get a cup of coffee? Oh, the silent type, huh?
2 days after this encounter was recorded, city officials were forced to erect iron fences around all trees in Agnew Park. With women out of bounds, men have been taking out their uncontrollable urges on anything that moves. Or doesn't move.
Keep away from that mailbox, young man!
That's the third one I've had to buy this week.
Emma Fleming was born in this house on Main Street, and it seems that passing males can't leave her mailbox alone.
It's disgusting. The sex drive of men is ruining the landscape of this town. Why can't they buy inflatable dolls?
Unfortunately, inflatable dolls are also banned in Cranberry Beach, along with condoms, red light bulbs, and anything else relating to sex. I asked Mayor Crookton if there was any chance of lifting the ban on abortion or female contraception.
Huh? What does that have to do with male sex urges? Stick to the point, buddy.
In Cranberry Beach, California, I'm Wolf Turner.
I was making $30,000 a year, but now that I'm on disability, my family and I are scraping by on $500 a month.
Ever since an extended illness ate up my life savings, my Social Security check is barely enough to keep me in cat food.
I used to have a nice office with my name on the door. Now, I'm just another exotic dancer with an MBA.
Sound familiar? Out of work? No prospects for the future? Fed up with rice and beans? Then put your meager subsistence income to work in the exciting world of Fourth World Investments. Hi, I'm Rex Ward, president of Overnight Mogul. Give me just 20% of your unemployment, welfare, or disability check, and I'll turn you into an international financier overnight. Yeah, that's right. The world's misery wants your company. And if you send me your money now, by the close of business day tomorrow, you'll be primed to rake in the big bucks, waiting for you in depressed economies all over the world. Places like Honduras, Sri Lanka, and California.
I get $500 a month disability to cover my rent, food, and bus fare. I sent $100 to Overnight Mogul, and Rex Ward invested it in a Bangladesh rice field. When that check comes in, it'll be the gravy train for me.
I used to spend my weekends fishing pop bottles out of dumpsters. Now, as a bona fide Somalian warlord, I spend them looting and pillaging my neighboring villages. Thanks, Rex Ward. Overnight Mogul changed my life.
I had nothing left to lose when I sent my last SSI check to Overnight Mogul. Now, thanks to Rex Ward, I'm a Haitian entrepreneur with my very own 24-hour-a-day broom factory. And just last week, my people held a sacred ritual just for me and turned me into a goddess.
Face it, your entitlement doesn't get you diddly. Ask yourself this. Would you rather starve to death in the crumbling first world economy you're in now, or would you rather live like a king? Literally, in a backward, exploitable little village with a name you can't even pronounce. Hey, those guys don't even know what a food stamp looks like, let alone food. So, act now. You'll be buying up entire provinces, and the people who live in them, just like the big boys do, in no time at all.
I went from pathetic loser to feudal lord overnight.
I went from homeless statistic to feared despot overnight.
I went from potential suicide to supreme goddess of the four winds overnight.
And so can you! If you are currently receiving any form of government assistance, you will not be turned away for lack of funds. Call now and receive a handsome Overnight Mogul spare change mug just for making the call. Come on, losers. It's time to be winners with Overnight Mogul.
Overnight Mogul is a registered Grand Cayman corporation.
G. Gordon Liddy, holding his hand over an open flame. A husky soldier opening a beer bottle with his teeth. Cockfights, dogfights, fistfights. These are manhood things. My name, Sargasso Krakatoa, your host for a 13-week exploration of man, manliness, and manhood rituals on manhood things. Come with me as we journey from the phallic palaces of southern Philonesia to an especially violent rugby match. Meet fascinating, manly men. A Scottish pig flinger, the last of his breed. A French academic who wrestles giant stereo equipment in Paris metro stations. And other men who throw things and grunt. Shrunken heads, big drums, giant spears, and sawdust restaurants with oyster shells dare to explore these icons of man on Manhood Things, beginning next week on this station.
Manhood Things, made possible by a grant from the Ballpeen Group, rooting for men since 1910.
I was so embarrassed. It was this dinky, flimsy thing I was waving after the Gulf War.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
Flag I've ever seen!
Men, is your patriotic life hampered by an inadequate flag? Hi, I'm Carlton Cheston. You know, it's a new world order out there, and if your flag doesn't measure up, neither will you. But now you can do something about the size of your flag with Flag Expander, a new technique in flag enhancement. Flag Expander is based on legendary methods used by generals and statesmen in the privacy of their own bunkers, and now available to you. No pumps or electrical devices needed. In just a few weeks, you'll see those stars and stripes rise to heights you never dreamed of.
Ooh, Doug, your flag. It reminds me of the Iwo Jima monument.
Thanks, baby.
Try Flag Expander today, and no one will ever question your patriotism again.
Flag Expander is available at the Tiger Shop, all Kettle Brothers locations except downtown, and now Norms of North Hollywood and Gatewall Mall.
World in Your Face is made possible by a generous grant from PepsiCo.
Each day, people put our meat on the table. Get us fried. Put us in hot water.
drive us to drink, chop us up into little pieces, and eat us raw. And we love it. We're PatsyCo.